Morning, this is Darren Brown with Darren Buys Homes Cash and Darren Brown Real Estate. Meeting with my sellers here today, Josiah and Peter. We recently sold their home in Cameron Park, and it was quite the deal. So I just wanted to kind of get a little bit of feedback from both of you, or Josiah. I work with Josiah mostly. You started out with an online inquiry.
Mm-hmm.
And you came onto my website and you interviewed me, and tell me a little bit about the reason why you chose me, because I think you had a couple other prospective cash buyers or realtors or whoever they were. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, you were like pretty much the last guy I looked at. You know, I had a whole spreadsheet of a whole bunch of different buyers and different strategies of how to sell, like novations and like wholesaling and all that. And a lot of these, prospecting, agents I was looking at, I got a sense that they weren't honest with me, or they were just, the first guy especially was really pressuring me and Peter to get the agreement signed, only for me to look later, and there's a whole bunch of traps laid in.
Yeah, standard.
And even the more honest agents, they were, kind of telling me things I wanted to hear. And, when I talked to Darren, he was just more laid back. There was no pressure to sign, and it just kind of made sense. And, we toured the property and got to know him, and it turned out really well because there was the property that we're trying to sell had so many issues.
Yeah, share with it if you can, just whatever you feel comfortable. What kind of issues were we actually dealing with?
Yeah, so 2 squatters, and they're professional squatters too, finding every way to delay the process.
They've been fighting us almost for about a year now.
Yeah, and especially one of them had, some mental issues, but just horrific. Even would spread lies to us, to buyers at the property, scare them away. Walk out in his underwear. Just crazy stuff. Code violations as well. Violations that kind of surprised us to some degree. And so it was tough sell, and throughout that process of, finding out that sweet spot of the correct sale price. Darren was there, just having a lot of people see the property. I guess he has access to a lot of different, so constant people coming in, and eventually got to sell it out. So
fantastic. If you had to sum it up for any future potential people thinking about working with me, whether it's cash buying or selling their property or doing traditional, how would you describe how I work or my character?
Yeah. So integrity would probably be the first character trait that is really prominent, and also just very flexible. Always responsive, and so we changed the agreement throughout it.
To work, make it a win-win.
Yeah, for sure. And so because he sent me an agreement in the beginning, and I actually made an error that would basically screw myself and Peter legally, and Darren had the power to, but changed it to be more reasonable after we looked closer at that specific part of the contract, which, dealing with a whole bunch of people at the property that are like squatters, very sketchy, and even some other tenants that live there. I'm just, and the previous agents I was considering in the beginning, just have a tendency to be dishonest, so it's good to not see that in this with this agent. So
well, let me shake your hand. Thank you.